excuses. Get it done. So I had to call my boy, Rock T. What's up, baby?
Hey, man, you said the magic words. No excuses, get it done. Stop making excuses on why you cannot succeed or do anything that you're trying to accomplish. Find out solutions on how you can, period. And you notice I put a period at the end of that because so many people leave that.
For real.
So many people leave that open up there like, man, listen, but Madam Monday, thanks a lot for allowing me to join you once again. You tell me, which direction you want to go tonight.
Yeah, man. Well, one, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey and why it's so important and what's helped you to, have no excuses and get it done. What does that mean to you for real?
Oh, man. Well, when you ask people for help, when you ask people to see your vision, when you ask people to support what you're doing, some of your dreams, and you get told no a lot, that turns you, hopefully, it should turn you into that, to adopt that mentality of no excuses, get it done. Because at the end of the day, you can't blame anybody but yourself. Like Michael Jackson said, you gotta look at the man in the mirror. You gotta stop making excuses on why somebody won't give you a chance, won't give you an opportunity. So I was that person that got told no so many times, and I still get told no a lot today. But when I'm here, I love the word no because I just flip it around. When you flip that word no around, what does it say? It says it's on. It's on now. Like you're gonna regret for telling me no because I'm gonna come back and go make some things happen. So my story, man, just let me give you a short version of my story. Is I had two dreams. I had two goals in life. If you was to ask the 9-year-old little boy, little Rock T, what is it that you want to be when you grow up? I said I wanted to be a professional baseball player and I wanted to be a radio TV personality, radio TV DJ. Those were my two dreams. I was a kid that had headphones. I walked around with big old school headphones on my head all day long. Even when I was playing with my friends, everybody used to tease me and say, Rock, what you doing with them headphones? I didn't have a Walkman to plug it in. It wasn't plugged in to nothing. It was just headphones because I just thought that that'll be a cool job to be a DJ on the radio one day. I would listen to the radio, not for the music. I couldn't wait for the DJ to come on and start talking because I'm like, whoa, and I would mock him and I would mimic him. Every time the DJ come on and talk, I would just pretend I was that DJ. So, and then of course, I had an older brother who played sports, so he always had me playing sports as well. So those were two things that I really loved as a young man. Let's start with the sports situation. I was always the smallest guy, wasn't the quickest, wasn't the strongest. I was always the guy on the team. I wasn't the sorriest, but I was probably 3 or 4 players from being the sorriest when I was younger. And I would always wait for an opportunity to play. Like, coach, how come you ain't playing me? And that was in all sports, football, basketball, baseball, the whole nine. And it was the same thing. It's like, okay, Rock, just keep working hard, keep trying your best. Yeah, keep doing your best or whatever. When I got to high school, I was a junior in high school, and I was still on JV. And normally, you were on JV as a freshman and a sophomore. And when you get to a junior in all sports, if you're okay, if you're halfway decent, you're on varsity just because. I was still on JV on the baseball team. So my senior year, I wasn't starting. I was playing a little bit here and there, wasn't starting. And I finally went in there and talked to my coach. I said, Coach, I'm a senior. And what can I do to play more? He said, son, sit down. This is one of my first come to Jesus meetings right here. He said, sit down. He says, what is it that you want to do when you graduate? I said, I would love to be a professional baseball player and a radio DJ. He says, well, go ahead and start practicing being that radio DJ because you're not going to be a professional baseball player. He said, true story. He says, you're not that good of a hitter. Your arm is not strong enough. You're quick, but you're not that fast. And you got a lot of work. So I said, okay, I could have took that one or two ways. I could have became the victim. That's what we do a lot. We always like to blame other people on why we don't have any kind of success. We always make excuses. I could have used that as an excuse. Oh, my coach don't believe in me. But I use that as motivation. So what I did is I took everything that he told me that I wasn't good at, and I went to a football field. And he said I wasn't that fast. I used to run full sprints up and down the football field, 100 yards. I would jog back. I would run another 100-yard sprint, jog back. I wouldn't rest in between. I just kept doing this over and over again every single day till I passed out. That same football field, I got a big bucket of a ball that had like 50 to 60 baseballs in a bucket. I would get on the goal line and I would just throw the ball as hard as I could, one ball at a time. I throw as far as I could down the football field. My goal was to be able to throw a baseball the entire length of the football field. And I did this every single day. My arm was sore. I was just like, man, about to fall off. And one day I was able to throw the baseball, not only the entire football field, but through the goalpost on the other side. So 110 yards, I was able to throw a baseball. Because he's not going to tell me that my arm is not strong enough. So I used to go to batting cages and hit. And back then, I didn't really have any money. So every time I ran out of money, I couldn't hit. So I used to go pick up cans on the street. I used to go to barbershops and ask if I could shine shoes and sweep up hair after the barbers for some tips. I used to go just pick up, I had a paper route. I got a paper route. Just pick up odd ends jobs just to make some cash money, put in my pocket, and I would go to the batting cage and hit with that money. And I got to the point where, okay, I'm still running out of money because I was hitting till I had like blisters on my hand. And I went to the manager of this one particular batting cage and asked for a job. And of course, they wasn't hiring. I said, well, I work free, pretty much. He said, what do you mean I'll work free? I said, I just want to be able to hit. So I'll work 40 hours a week if I can hit unlimited in the batting cage. I can come up here anytime. He says, okay, you got a deal. So that's what I did. And you're not going to tell me that I'm not a good hitter anymore. Make a long story short, I earned a baseball scholarship to go to college, and I was drafted by the New York Mets to play professional baseball. So goal number one was accomplished. After my baseball career, I went up to the number one radio station in Dallas-Fort Worth at the time, which was K104 FM. This was the big-time radio station. I went there to apply for a job, and they told me no 5 times. Yeah, I kept coming back. 5 times they kept telling me no. So the 6th time that I went up in there, I busted through the door. I said, hey, before you guys tell me no again, I'll work free. You don't have to pay me nothing. Just give me an opportunity to prove to you that I'm going to be an asset to this company one day. And of course they laughed. They didn't think I was serious, but I was serious as a heart attack. Long story short, they said yes. So once again, here I go. I'm working 40 hours a week for this radio station. I'm in the engineering department, programming department, promotions department. I'm going to get coffee for people, lunch for people. I'm sweeping floors, mopping floors. I'm doing everything you can possibly imagine in this building. Free of charge, not getting paid a dime. So now you're probably saying, well, how was you able to pay your bills, Rock? How was you able to take care of your responsibilities? I took the money that I made from playing baseball and I saved it, and I started my own baseball academy for kids on the weekends. So on Saturday and Sunday, I had a baseball academy for kids. I would teach kids. I had baseball camps, the whole 9. Monday through Friday, I'm working free for this radio station. My first year in radio, nobody knew this until I started sharing this story. My first year in radio, I didn't get paid nothing. I worked completely free. When the position became available, they was forced to kind of hire me because I was working for them free for a whole year. So I kind of created my own job, and they hired me officially. So now I'm officially on payroll. Now, let me back up just a little bit. Probably about 3 months into that radio situation when I was working free, I got very discouraged because I was telling myself, yeah, I know I told them I'll work for free, but it's been 3 months and they still haven't hired me. And I was like ready to quit. I was like, you know what? This is for the birds. I'm going to go find me another job because, I can't take this anymore. And this is when one of my mentors pulled me aside and sat me down. And here's my second coming to Jesus meeting. He says, Rock, what's wrong with you, man? I said, what you mean? You got your first radio gig at the number one station in one of the largest markets in the entire country. And you're going to walk away from that? I said, I'm not getting paid. I need to make some money. He goes, you told him you'd work for free. I said, I know, I get all that. He's like, listen, get your butt back in there and keep working. Your time is going to come. So he got me motivated. I went back in there. 3 more months went by. So now I'm at the 6-month part. Same thing. discouraged. Man, this is for the birds. I'm sorry, man. I got strong will, but I gotta go start my other career somewhere else. I can't do this. Here comes my third come to Jesus meeting from another mentor. This was one of my radio mentors. And he says, Rock, he says, you finna leave now after all this work you put in? I said, man, I just go to another company and try this all over again so I can get paid. I gotta make some money. Making all these kind of excuses. I'm outworking everybody. I'm here before everybody. I'm the last one to leave. I know more than everybody in the 6 months that I've been here. There's some people that's been there for 5 years. You know, I know what my value is, so I'm going on and on and on, making all these excuses. And he says, you play football before? I said, yeah, play football. He says, you watch the NFL? I said, I love the NFL. He says, there's a thing called preseason. I'm like, okay. He says, what's the purpose of preseason? I said, for teams to practice, to see what kind of players they have. They have 4 practice games that don't mean nothing. And eventually they're going to get their roster down to their main roster so they can get ready for the regular season. He says, Rock, you are in your preseason right now. These last 6 months has been a preseason. You're working out all the wrinkles. You're working out all the kinks. You just said you know more than almost everybody in the building already. Hang in there. It's about to be the regular season. And when it's regular season time, you're going to be ready to go. And the light bulb just went on right then and there. I said, oh, man, that's what I needed to hear. So I got back in there 6 more months, and then that's the rest of the story. I was hired. 6 years I worked with K104. A comedian came in. Steve Harvey was doing the morning show on 97.9 The Beat. And he left his radio show. He turned it over to Rickey Smiley because Steve Harvey is going over to do some other things. So he says, hey, I think Rickey Smiley would be a perfect person to take over my morning show. So that's how Rickey came into the picture. When Rick got to town, he heard me on the air, and he got a chance to meet me. He was like, man. And he found out I knew a lot about sports. He said, I want you to be my sports guy. So that's how I was able to get on the Rickey Smiley morning show when they launched it at the beginning. Been with Rick for like 16 years now. So now the Rickey Smiley morning show is on in like 75 markets around the country. Like 8 million people listen to the show each and every day. And I almost walked away from it. Not from Rickey Smiley, but from my radio career. I was ready to quit because I got discouraged. I was ready to quit because I was thinking that the world owed me something, that everybody at that company owed me something. I wasn't willing to put in that time, put in that work. I was willing to put in the work, but I was expecting it to come just like that. So fast forward to where we are right now, 20 years in radio and television, one thing that I challenge people all the time is to be that mountain climber. And the best analogy of being a mountain climber is, what does a mountain climber like to do? They like to climb mountains. Now, everything about climbing mountains, there's nothing really pretty about it. You got the big heavy backpack weighing you down. Your back's getting sore. You got heavy boots. You can possibly run out of food. You can possibly run out of water as you're climbing this mountain. All the thorns and stickers from the branches and the trees scratching you up. Nothing really about mountain climbing is really like, wow, man, that's awesome. But the mountain climber loves it. Why? Because he's embracing the grind. He knows his goal is to get to the top of that mountain. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Nothing is going to stop him. So embrace the grind. Embrace the struggle. If you embrace your struggle, if you embrace your grind, whatever it is, it won't feel like a struggle. If you embrace it, you know what's coming. Nothing is going to be easy. I'm sure you've heard all these little analogies. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's the truth. It's a marathon. I worked for a whole year free. That was a long marathon. But when I finally got home, 20 years later, look at me now. And I'm not even close to being finished to what I want to do. I'm not even close. There's so much more that's in my head every single day. I wake up like, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Before I go to bed every night, after I say my prayers and get on my knees, kiss my wife goodnight, I'm like, if I didn't do more today than I did yesterday, then today was a failure to me. And if I don't do more tomorrow than I did today, then tomorrow's going to be a failure to me. And you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to challenge yourself each and every day. Look what we're going through right now with the coronavirus. I don't know what's going on and why this is happening, but this is a great opportunity to say, you know what? we're sitting down now. Now, what you gonna do as you sitting down? You can sit here and just let your days go by and complain about what's going on, or you can take advantage of that time and start thinking, start using this muscle up here and say, okay, I've been trying to build my own business. I've been trying to start my own business, but I never had enough time because I got a full-time job as well. I never had enough time because I have 4 kids. So by the time I get home from my job, I got to feed my kids. I got to make sure they're in order. Then by the time I get ready to have some me time, it's time to go to bed. And I got to do it all over again. Okay, so now you got a problem with time. You're using time as an excuse. So get up an hour earlier. Get up an hour earlier. Well, by the time I go to sleep, I need my 8 hours of sleep. Okay, well, let's break down this 8 hours of sleep. You got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours of sleep. Help me do some math here. I used to always skip math class. 24 hours. So now 8 hours of sleep, that leaves you 16 hours, right? 16 hours. So let's say you work 8 hours a day, right? Like the average person work 8 hours a day. So now you're down to 8 hours. You just slept 8 hours. You didn't work 8 hours. You got 8 hours left, okay? Let's say by the time you get home, cook dinner, what is that? Get your kids settled, another 2 hours, all right? And that's giving you a lot. I'm giving you 2 hours. So now you're down to 6 hours, okay? Take your shower, bath, whatever you're down, hour. And whoever takes hour showers and baths, shame on you. But I'm going to give you an hour. Now you're down to 5 hours. What else? Come on. Just you see where I'm going with this. You got 5 hours left. Let's just say you wanted to play video games for an hour. Now you got 4 hours left. Okay, so it's like, you see what I'm getting? You got time. It's what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your time? And if you had 1 hour a day that you would just put specifically for you and you only, put yourself in a room, put yourself in your basement, do whatever you gotta do, just 1 hour, and just focus on you and your dreams and what you're trying to accomplish. You'll be amazed on how fast things will move faster for you. Stop letting stuff get in the way. Stop letting your phone, stop letting social media, stop letting all this stuff interrupt your thoughts. Because if you got your phone sitting next to you and you're on the internet doing some research, or then your Instagram alert go up, Facebook alert go out. All these alerts are going out. You're going to get distracted. You're going to pick it up and see what's going on. People texting you. Oh, man, whatever. You just ruin the focus that you had. So what I do is I have 3 times a day that I do social media. In the morning time, when I'm on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, when I'm on the work, because we're communicating, we're interacting with people, our listeners. So that whole time, I'm doing social media. When we get off the air, the phone is gone. Unless, the only time the phone's still in my hand is if I have a conference call or something like that, a little conference meeting or something like that. Other than that, phone is set aside. Now it's rock tea time. What is rock tea time? I have a list of things. Now, my list is not a to-do list. Here's another thought. Write this down. Don't make to-do lists. Because if you make to-do lists, you got a list of, let's say, 10 things. All right? And let's say you get 8 of them done in that day. There's 2 things you didn't get done. Shame on you. So guess what? You got to roll those 2 things over to the next day. What happens if you have 10 more things the next day? Now you got 12 things. All right? Don't make a to-do list. Get you a planner. Get you a calendar. Okay? And you plan your to-dos on the calendar. So if you got to go do laundry, if you got to go grocery shopping, if you have to go pick up the kids, whatever, you plan that on the calendar. I'm doing laundry at 5:30 p.m. I got to pick the kids up at 3:30 p.m. I got the same way you plan meetings, calls, and any of this other important stuff that you plan on your calendar, you put your to-dos, you plan the same way, and you hold yourself accountable to make it happen. That's how you get stuff done. That's how you get stuff done.
Rock, I do want to interrupt you right here. You're absolutely right, because I had to start planning my self-care during my day. So I have scheduled power naps, right? Mm-hmm. And so at a certain time during the day, I started this week and it was great. So at a certain time during the day, and it's only what is today? Tuesday?
Tuesday. Uh-huh.
Oh, dag, it's only Tuesday. At a certain time during the day, I will stop working leave my phone downstairs, and then I will go, and I got this weighted blanket. Thank you, Michi, for helping me find this weighted blanket. I go up to my room and I'll take a half an hour to an hour power nap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get back up and I'll just start working again. And like yesterday, I decided to do that. It was the best thing in the world for me.
Good for you.
So good that today, when I got to a certain point, my body just started yawning to tell me, chick, you need a nap. Because I realized that adults need naps like little babies need naps, so that our brain can wake back up. And it was only 30 minutes, but that helped me get enough revitalization and focus so that I can continue. But I needed to get that disconnect for a little bit. So you're absolutely right. Sometimes you got to plan things to do, but sometimes you got to plan things to don't.
There you go. Come on now. You said something right there. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time in our day to get done what we need to get done. But you have to have some me time. You got to stop. It's your dreams. Whoever's listening to this and watching this, it's your dreams. So if you're sharing your dreams with your friends, your family members, or whatever, and they're not your cheerleaders, if you don't have big cheerleaders that says, yo, rock, man, go for it, bro. You can do it, man, whatever you need, just let me know. I support you 100%. If you don't have those kind of people in your life, you got to trim some of that fat. You got to feed them with a long handled spoon, as grandmama used to say. Because you got all these people that you're sharing your dreams with, and some may be knocking your dreams. Some may not be saying anything or doing anything with your dreams, but because it's not their dreams. So there's two things that hurt us on why we don't succeed in some of our goals. One, self-doubt. We don't believe that anybody else is going to like what we're putting out there. Oh, what if they don't like it? Oh, what if so-and-so? Well, my mom said it wasn't good, so everybody else says it's going good. Or my cousin, or my coworker, or my best friend, or these people saying that I'm wasting my time, so that means I'm going to stop working on. No. If you believe in it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And the second thing that ruins us is fear. Where did fear come from? God didn't, when we were born, we didn't have fear. God didn't put fear in us. We put fear in ourselves. What do you have to lose? If something doesn't work, it's a learning experience. That don't mean you quit and give up. You just learn what to do next time or what not to do next time. That's it. It's not me. It doesn't mean you're a failure and you just, this is not for me. No, you learn along the way, man. There's so many success stories out there, from Oprah Winfrey to Michael Jordan to Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, the late great Steve Jobs. I mean, I can go on and on about all these success stories. That didn't happen overnight. Go read their books. You've heard the stories. It was a lot of struggle at the beginning. Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel himself, he didn't discover that. He didn't strike gold until he was 65. Why do you think the Colonel is Kentucky Fried Chicken? It's an old guy that's grayed out with white hair. Because that's when he finally struck gold with the Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC franchise. He failed about 100 times before that with other business ideas that didn't work. So, not saying you got to wait till you're 65, but my point is, it ain't over until you quit. And if you don't ever quit, it's never over. So, I don't know. I'm just one of those weird dudes that, the name of my book, like you said, is No Excuses, Get It Done. That's also my motto in life. I just refuse to let anyone or anything, only one person God is the only one that can judge me. At the end of the day, God is the only one that can judge me. So everybody else, if you're on my team, you supporting, let's go. If not, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to distance myself from you. And it can be your own family sometimes. It can be your best friend sometimes. It can be people that are real close to you. You'd be amazed, man. I remember I heard Steve Harvey say one time, he says, if you pulling a wagon up a hill, you pulling this wagon up the hill, and all your boys, all your homegirls are in this wagon, you carrying them, and not one of them get out to push from the back to help out, it's time to trim fat and let them go. Because some people just going to be along for the ride. Been there, done that many a times. Oh, man, yeah, Rock T got us. No, man, I mean, I don't mind helping and supporting, but you got to put some work in. You know, you got to be willing to go get it yourself. Because if you're not willing to go get it, this is what I tell a lot of kids when I'm speaking to youth. It's like, don't expect someone just to give you something. Nobody owes you anything. Whatever you want to do, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in your life, whatever dreams you have in your head, you be willing to put that blood, sweat, and tears and do whatever you have to do to get there. Now, if you show that you're willing to run through fire to achieve your goal, people like Rock T, people like Madam Money, people like, Oprah, people like Jordan, they will come, they will recognize and see what you're doing and say, yo, I like that kid. I see he's making, that's where you be hearing all these, hey, so-and-so just donated $1 million to this person. So someone just gave this kid $10,000 to go pay for his tuition. All that kind of stuff, because they're trying everything, And life is the same way, man. No matter how old you get. It's like, I get approached all the time. Hey, Rock, I got this great idea. Okay, great. And they're telling me their idea. And I'm like, okay, what have you done so far? Well, I ain't really done too much. I'm just trying to, and it's like, okay, well, that's mistake number one. Nothing wrong with sharing your idea with people that you think that can help you. But sometimes you only get one shot. So take your time, put together your game plan. We all heard you got an elevator pitch. Sometimes you might walk into an elevator and Oprah's there. You got 12 to 13 seconds to convince her to sit down with you. What's that elevator pitch gonna be? I remember one time I got into true story. I was in the elevator. It was a bunch of them. I was at the Essence Music Festival years ago, and we was in this elevator coming out the hotel. So first we got in the elevator. There was a bunch of people in there. Then when we got onto the bottom floor, we all walking off the elevator, and I saw Carl Kanai. Back in the day, Carl Kanai was, he had him and Cross Colors and FUBU and all that. Carl Kanai was like a big deal back there. And this is like right at the beginning of my radio career. So I'm still just kind of like, oh, yo, that's Carl Kanai. So he's about to get on the elevator as we're all getting off. And I recognized him. And I said, hey, what's up, Carl? He said, what's up, man? And he just walked on the elevator. And at that moment, I'm like, dang, that was Carl Kanai. Never saw him since, again, never saw him after that. Never saw him at the Essence Festival walking around, nothing. But that could have been an opportunity. You never know. It could have been an opportunity for me. And at the time, okay, I'm still new in the business, so I'm not even really trying to be like an entrepreneur or anything at the time. I'm just happy because I'm at the beginning of my radio career. But my point is like, man, just if you have an opportunity to bump into people like that, you got to have some type of go-to something. Even if you don't want nothing from them, you got to have something, because you'll be amazed on how you can connect with that person, whether it's in business, it can just become a friend. It can become a mentor of yours. Anything can happen. So what are you going to always have on deck? Your elevator pitch. What 8 to 10 words, what one sentence or two sentences can you always have on deck that no matter who you run into, it can get their attention? Now, will it work every single time? No, because some people just have attitudes and they don't have time. They have other stuff going on in their life, and then they just listen to you and keep on moving like you wasn't even there. That's okay too, but you never know. It could also be the other way around. Which brings me to another story. 4 years into my radio career, I'm watching all these concert promoters throw these big old huge concerts and huge birthday parties. 10,000 people, 15,000 people filling up these arenas, concerts and stuff. I'm watching. I'm like, man. So I'm 4 years into my radio career now. So I'm thinking, shoot, I can do this. That's a whole lot of money being made. I can do that. So I'm like, I'm going to have a big old huge birthday party. Rock T's birthday party. We're going to do it at Fair Park in Dallas, Texas. If you've been to Fair Park, it's the biggest fair. The Texas State Fair is the biggest fair in the world. So I went and got one of the biggest venues at Fair Park. It held 10,000 people. And I'm like, I'm going to do a Rock T party, and I'm going to go bring in Lil Kiki to perform.
Lil Keke was a new rapper at the time that had a song called Southside, but he had just came out, so he wasn't even big yet, right? He wasn't big yet. So I'm thinking, Rock T, hey, I've been in radio for 4 years now. Hey, I'm a big time radio guy. 10,000 people is gonna come out and see me on my birthday, and I'm gonna bring Lil Keke. So I took my last savings and I rented the building. I didn't run any advertising. So one of my radio mentors pulled me aside and said, hey, Rock, you ain't gonna run any radio, you ain't gonna run any advertising? I mean, I'm just gonna hand out 10,000 flyers. I'm thinking I'm gonna hand out 10,000 flyers, 10,000 people gonna show up. So he's like, no, slow down, Rock. I mean, I want you to win. I want you to succeed. This is your first big deal. So here's what you should probably do. And he's laying it out to me. He's giving me the blueprint on what to do and how I should do it. I'm not listening. I think I got it all figured out. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. I appreciate that, man. Y'all, now we good, man. I got everything worked out. Then listen, being hard-headed. Guess what happened, y'all? 30 people showed up. 30 people showed up to my birthday party, man. This big old huge building held 10,000 people. I told Lil Keke, I said, man, here. I gave my last little money that I had. You ain't even got to go out there and perform from there, man. And it was the biggest flop. But after that night, you know, I was a little bothered. I was a little mad. But it humbled me. It really humbled me. And I said, I got to start listening. I got to start attaching myself to people that know how to do this. Like the mentor guy that was trying to tell me. I could have brought him in because I've seen him do it many times. I could have said, hey, man, I want you to help me, show me how to do this for my birthday party, for my first event. So I went back to him and I said, man, what did I do wrong? I mean, I know you was trying to tell me, but I wasn't listening. But how can I fix this? He says, Rock, it's your first gig. You should have got a venue that held maybe 500 to 1,000 people tops. And then you should have put a budget aside to do a little advertising. You should have probably handed out 20 to 30,000 flyers, because if you hand out whatever amount of flyers you hand out, expect 5 to 10% of those people to attend. So if you would have handed out 20 to 30,000 flyers, then you would have had, 20 to 30% of those people came to your event. And at a venue that holds 500 people, you fill it up. Plus the radio advertising, who knows? You might have overflowed the thing. Now, yes, you wouldn't have made a lot of money, but you wouldn't have lost. You probably would have at least broke even, but that's cool. So now you get ready for your next event. In your next event, you build a reputation that, okay, every time Rock T throws a party, it's dope. It's live. I want to start going. And you just start growing. Now you can get to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Now you can start growing. That's how these big concert promoters that's done it. Once upon a time, they started off real small in small theaters, and they grew to big, huge arenas. So it was all that kind of stuff that taught me. And, it's just, every time I see people now and they have these big, huge dreams, keep dreaming big. When people say you're dreaming too big, no, you're not. But just understand that it takes steps to get to that big dream. This is your goal right here. This is the big dream, astronomical. If you're freaking dreaming to the moon and you only make it to the clouds, you still up there pretty high. Okay? You didn't make it to the moon yet, but you made it to the clouds. You still up there pretty high. Nothing wrong with that. But if you dream, if you listen to other people, it's not their dream, but they trying to tell you what, you come down and you bring your dreams down to here at the cloud level, and then you barely make it on top of a building. Come on, man. It's all a mindset. I know I'm rambling and I'm
Rock,
all over the place.
I think you made a good point, because when you were talking about how you went big, the first time you went big, you went 50,000 people, and you had this expectation of all of this. And a lot of times we do that as entrepreneurs. We go for the big thing. Like, we want to do an event. We're going to go into a big hotel that sits 5,000 people, and maybe 5 people show up or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's because we didn't do that process. We have it out of the galaxy, and we could get there, but sometimes you got to go up the steps to get on top of the building so that you can leap on a plane to get you to the clouds, to get to the rocket, so you can get to orbit, so you can get to the galaxy. But we despise small beginnings. And so I think that lesson is to tell you, do not
Mm-hmm.
despise small beginnings, because if you have you start off with a virtual event. When you start building up the virtual event, then you have an in-person event. When you start building up the in-person event, now you can start going into larger venues and you grow there. Your first event doesn't have to be 2,000 people or 1,000 people. It may be for 20 people, but the object of the game is that's what's going to help you to build so that you can get to the ultimate goal. It is not just because you're starting small doesn't mean you're dreaming small. You dream big, but you build on the dream as you go.
You got to, as long as you learn, you're absolutely right. And I don't care if it's, I started an online business with 5 people that joined a splash page. I set up a splash page, and on the splash page, it was like, put your email and your name. And I'm just going to start sharing tips and what I learned along the way of how I've become, the little bit of success that I've had in my career. Some people call my career successful. I call it, I'm not finished yet. But some people, so I try to use the platform to see how I can help others. People that I've learned from, all the stuff that that was shared to me, I wanted to share with others. So 5 people signed up. So I started sending them emails. Every week I would send them a little tip. Those 5 people, the customer service was, they was tripping because at first they didn't think it was really me. Is this really Rickey? Or is this somebody that's working for me? Is this an assistant, whatever? No, this is really me. So I took care of those 5 people, and I was really having conversations with them. And next thing you know, about 2 weeks later, I said, let me look into my email database and see how many more people has joined. 1,500 more people joined. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the system was broke. I'm calling my what you call a MailChimp. I'm saying, hey man, I got 1,500 emails in my thing. Is that? And he's asking me like, yeah, good job, bud. So I started, and I kept going. It went from 1,500 to 5,000 and 5,000. So now I got like 74,000 people in my email database, and it's real people that are interested in what I have to say. And one thing that I don't do is I don't take advantage of their time. An email to some people just like, here goes another email, spam, junk, or whatever. But these people took their time to say, hey, I kind of like what Rickey is talking about. He reminds me of me. Whatever reason they do it. So now I got to appreciate that. So every time I send an email out, every time I communicate with anybody that's on this email list, whatever it is, every time I send information about something I have going on, I try to always make it beneficial for them as well. See, you can't make it a one-way street. That's another thing. If you don't have the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, let's see. If you don't have this book right, go get it. How to Win Friends and Influence People. What is this book about? It teaches you how to win friends and influence people. This is one of my favorite books. And
Rock, the other good book is the Goal Giver.
The Go Giver?
The Go Giver. I know you got that one in there. That is awesome. Bam. See, baby? That's my boy.
Boom.
Exactly.
Come on now. Hey, listen. Listen, y'all. I know I got a little ADD situation. I'll be all over the place when I be talking this up because this is really off the top of my head. I don't have a script or whatever. I just speak from the heart, and whatever we're talking about, I just try to share my story to kind of hopefully influence you guys to believe in yourself, to understand what it is. But listen, books, and I know books is the difference between a rich man's home and a poor man's home is the library. That's really the only difference. I'm not talking about the size of the house and how much the house costs and all that. But the main difference between the reason why that rich man is rich, books like this. And the reason why the poor man is poor, because they ain't got time to read. And if they are reading, they're reading something that ain't got nothing to do with how to win friends and influence people. Man, these books, and see, another thing is, if you're going to read, apply. Don't just read the book and say, oh man, that was a great book. Apply it to your life immediately. I hate reading. I used to hate reading. I love it now. I used to couldn't stand reading. Oh man, especially a book with no pictures. Come on, man. You couldn't get me past a magazine. I'm like, what, a book?
Dude, there's
But
no
I had to
excuse.
learn
There's no excuse now with Audible. Like I can listen to like 5 books in a week, dude. There's no excuses because I don't like to read, and books that I write for people that hate to read books. But now you have Audible. You have all this windshield time when you're commuting or at home. Or now you really have time at home. Instead of watching nonsense on TV, you can listen to a book.
Man, I do it every day. I do it every single day. I've gotten to the point now that I just something about having books. I get the book and the Audible. So it's like, really no excuses or whatever. But make a long story short, it's one of those things where, just own it and hold your own self accountable. And don't let nothing get in your way, even if it's money. Oh, that's a big one. I get that a lot. Well, if I had someone that can invest in me, or if I can get a loan, or if I can do this, if I just had a little extra money. Well, YouTube is free the last time I checked. Social media is free last time I checked. You can at least start talking about your vision. You can start talking about your business. You'll be amazed. Create your YouTube channel, explain what your business is, what you do. There may be one person out there that sees that video and says, wow, who is this Madam Money person? I like what you just said about how to maintain your finances and how to, let me find out more about this. Now, boom, you just sold the book. Boom, you just got another person added to your database that's on these calls and on these calls every week or whatever. So you never know. And then if that person happened to share your video to all her people and say, hey man, look what I just you know about this Madam Money girl out of Atlanta? No, who is that? Here, check this video out. And then that's how stuff starts going viral. But even if it doesn't go viral, that doesn't mean quit, okay? That doesn't mean quit. That just says, hey, I got 2 people that subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna baby and spoil these 2 people. Because if I do that right and I over-deliver for them, they're gonna tell 2 people. They're gonna run their mouth, I promise you. Then you got 4 people, then you got 10 people, and that goes back. You want 10,000 people instantly. You want people, we all want 1 million views. We want to start our social media, open an Instagram, and we want 100,000 followers next week. Get 1 follower, then get 2, then get 4, then get 10. It'll slowly, and see, I would rather have 500 Instagram followers that really love what Rock T is doing, that's really all the way engaged with Rock T, than 100,000 that could be fake followers, just random people that they can care less about. Those 5,000, you could turn into customers.
Right. I'd rather have 500 people that will buy than to have 500,000 that's just looking or don't really exist.
Bam.
Because I know friends that have 10,000, 25,000, 100,000 Facebook followers or Instagram followers, but ain't nobody buying from them.
Yeah. So the trick is, how can you turn them into customers? Like, there's a lot of influencers out there that has millions of followers, and and I'm gonna use her as an example. Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians, look what they've done with their platform. Yes, they got millions and millions of followers, and I promise you, 70% of those followers are also customers. Mm-hmm. Every time they put something out, they shatter some new record about most sold this, most sold that, or whatever. Then you got the other person that may have 5 million followers, maybe because they're funny and maybe do a bunch of funny skits and stuff. And they're just sitting on those 5 million followers. Now they may make some money when brands come to them and say, hey, we want you to post this for us. We'll cut you a check. Okay, that's a way to make some money. But why not do what DC Curry did? Not DC Curry, but my man. I just went blank. God, the comedian that's on Wild 'N Out.
Nick Cannon.
Not Nick Cannon. I just went blank. Golly, how'd I go blank?
That's okay.
It'll come to me. But anyway, he started off roasting people, right? He got real big on Instagram and social media roasting people. He used to roast celebrities. And he got really popular. Next thing you know, he got millions of followers. But what he did was, he's so smart. He says, okay, I can keep being funny. I can keep getting a whole bunch of followers. And he says, okay, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start roasting those. Let me rewind. Before he started roasting the celebrities, he was just roasting regular people. When he started roasting celebrities, those celebrities started responding to what he was saying. Like, he was roasting them hard. He was going hard. And the celebrities started responding, making videos about him. The next thing you know, he just blew up and took off. And now he's having a phenomenal career. Wilding out, he was in a couple of movies, whatever. I can't believe I just went blank.
I think I know who you're talking about too. But it's the same thing with D Nice.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Nobody knew who D Nice was. Of course, we knew who D Nice was, but nobody knew who D Nice was. And he was just doing it out of the kindness of his heart. And now he's on commercials. They trying to, they throwing money at him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Rob, we got to get ready to go, and I so appreciate you coming on, sharing that information. If we want to follow you, follow your community, get in touch with you, how can we connect with you?
At Rock T Holla, ROCKTHOLLA. That's everything. That's the website, rocktholla.com, and that's all the social media platforms. Yes, indeed. And if you want the book, there it is. No Excuses, Get It Done. Pretty much teaching how to conquer mental paralysis. And I just kind of share my story. You guys got a little bit of it today. There's a little bit more in there as well. So hope you enjoy it if you decide to pick up a copy. But
beautiful.
You the bomb. Keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, big brother. You are amazing. And thank you for always being there for me. I so appreciate you. Like, we met on the first time on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, and we just hit it off. It was just cool. So I just thank you for always being there for me. And I got your back too.
Appreciate you. You're very welcome. DC Young Fly. That's who I'm talking about.
DC Young Fly. It came to you, right? Okay. So what does anybody have any questions? Ladies, do you have any questions before we get off here? Okay. No, but before you go, Roxy, I'd like to introduce you to the ladies that join me. I have my ride or die chick and my frequent flyer that came on. So we're going to let Miss Jacqueline go first. Tell us about yourself and who you are, your business, and how we can contact you.
There we go. Hi, Jacqueline Harrison. Thank you so much, Roxy, for sharing your story and all that information. I mean, I have a little list here, embrace the grind, dream big. And from you, Tara, do not despise the small beginnings, because that's important. And I know it's sometimes when I beat myself up about growth, have all these great plans of where, I see my business going, and it's not doing that and getting discouraged. And so thank you very much, both of you. I am definitely a dualpreneur. Besides working part-time, I design websites as well as create and publish publications, brochures, flyers, promotion. And then I also do coaching, small business coach, well, not small business, got to get rid of that term, coaching for entrepreneurs, especially older women that once we get everybody out the house and now it's just us, what we gonna do? What's us gonna do? And so my job is to help them do what they, have had within them to do all along. So
beautiful. Awesome. And how can we find you on social media or your website?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, website is mjhent.com for MJH Enterprises. And on Instagram, it's New Season N3WSEAON. And then on Facebook, it's MJH Enterprises.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for always tuning in. My ride or die chick, Michi. What's up, girl?
Hey. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, Roxy. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate all that you've said, and I have some little juicy nuggets to add to my tribe and all of that. So I am Michi Renee. My business is the Unicorn Tribe, and that is UNIKORNTRYBE, all over social media, and that is my website as well. I am an intuitive life and business coach. I help aspiring entrepreneurs, or maybe you have an idea, project, or business that you're trying to start. I help people monetize on their skills, gifts, and talents in unique and aligned ways, so that they are showing up and being authentic in who they are and what they do. I also have a 501c3 organization, and we work with students grade 8 through 12 for providing college readiness, leadership development, mentorship, STEM programming, and other things. So feel free to reach out. As it relates to the 501c3, everything is under Am I Ready? So that's AMIREADY, Inc.org is the website, and also on social media. Tara, thank you so much.
Love it. Love it.
Absolutely.
Say what I do.
Absolutely. Of course. Of course. We are dualpreneur. Hashtag keep dualpreneurs in business. My name is Tara Jackson, AKA Madam Money. You may know me as the personal financial expert and commentator on different news programs, including Al Jazeera, Fox News. And yes, I've been on the Rickey Smiley morning show a couple times at Rock T. But what you probably didn't know is, like Jacqueline, I do design and develop websites. I love doing that. Been doing that for 25 years. I believe that every small business, regardless of size, should be able to look like a Fortune 500 company online, because looks do matter when it comes to digital life right now. And because people have so many options, you should, your website should not get you out of the game. It should put you in the game and differentiate you in the game. If you'd like to learn more about that and how to get your website started, you can go to my website at SRJ Websites. That's SRJ Websites with an S.com. Schedule a time so we can talk about your new website and next project. Rock T, Jacqueline, Michi, it's been the bomb. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. I love you, everyone, for watching. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. Share your nuggets. If you have any questions for Rock T, put them in there. He's a part of the group now. He's a part of the family. So he will answer your questions. Great. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. And don't forget, wash them hands, y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
Deuces.